Hello everyone, welcome to the video on Mathematics 10. Today we're going to talk about the function. Before we start, there are some things that you need to know how to do, such as finding the value of x when y equals 4 for the given equation. Also, you want to find the value of x, or find the value of y when you're given the x value. After this video, you will be able to distinguish between relations and functions, and also use function notation to find the value of the expression, or the other way around as well. Let's try the first example question. Identify whether the relation shown in the graph is a function or not. So it's a very simple task to identify whether a graph is a function or not. What we need is a pencil, a straight pencil. What we're going to do is we're going to perform a vertical line test. A vertical line test is a very simple test where we hold a vertical line and we move through the graph. Imagine you're going to the airport and going through the security line. The vertical line is going to stay silent if the graph meets the vertical line 0 times or just once. So in this case, it's staying quiet here. At this point, however, the graph meets the vertical line twice. This means, beep, 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 it fails the test. This graph does not pass the vertical line test. Therefore, it is not a function. So if I write it down, the answer will be not a function. Because the function, the graph, does not pass the vertical line test. Let's annotate the process here. So what happened here is we do a vertical line test, the VLT. It means that when the graph meets the vertical line more than once, we fail the test. So for this graph, the vertical line here, graph meets the graph 0 times. At these 2 points, it meets the graph once, so that's fine. But in the middle of the circle, it meets the graph twice. So that means we failed the vertical line test. So therefore, this relation is not a function. Let's try the second question. Given the function f of x is equal to x squared minus 8, find the value of f of 2. So what is this function notation, f of x? Well, we write it as f open bracket x close bracket. And the name, the f, is the name of the function. If you want to change the name, you can change it to something else, such as g, or h, or f1, or whatever that you want. The x that goes inside the bracket represents the input. It represents the independent variable. So basically this function takes the x as an input, and we square it, and then we do a minus 8. So therefore, if I want to find the value of f of 2, it means that I replace every instance of x with a 2. I'm going to replace x with a 2, or I'm going to substitute 2 into place of x. And we just compute that. F of 2 is equal to 4 minus 8, so therefore f of 2 is equal to negative 4. Let's annotate the process here. So the only thing I'm doing is replace every x with 2, and then we compute. Very simple task. So in this video, we talk about a couple new vocabularies, such as a function. A function is a special type of relation where every input, the x, has exactly one output. So the graph that we saw before, the circle, is not a function because for one input, there may be maximum of two outputs. A function notation, the f of x, is a way to write the equation where we simply replace the letter y with f of x. The function notation is useful because it has the name of the function. It also tells you what the input is. Finally, the vertical line test is a technique that we use to check whether a graph is a function or not. We simply hold a vertical line through the graph, and when it beeps, when it meets the graph more than once, it fails the vertical line test, therefore it is not a function. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.